Look!
Listen.
Taylor?
Welcome to Look, Listen with Geese Guyera and Taylor. It's episode 122, Horizons the Pokemon Anime, number 72. Hello, welcome everybody. I hope you're glad to be here. Hello, Geese Peep.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Welcome, one and all.
Aggressive energy today.
Well, Taylor hurt himself. Geese Peep smarfed her dinner down. We don't have...
I snarfed it because Taylor was like, I'm ready now. I'm eating dinner. So I snurfed it and I smurfed it so quickly. And then he's 15 minutes late.
He dislocates his finger, has to take care of emergencies. Oh, he's such a great person. Oh my God. Come on. Get it.
At this point, the counter on how many times I've dislocated this finger is in double digits. It's so broken.
It's just dust. When you take an x-ray, it's just dust.
Well, I can feel two of the breaks in it. Like, I can feel where it should be one bone and it's instead two bones. I'm scheduling an appointment with a hand surgeon. Don't worry.
Okay, guys, this is a podcast. It's about Pokemon and other things. Right now, we're watching the anime, Pokemon Horizons. Is it good? Is it bad? That's what we discuss. And you
Next
find
up.
out.
Okay.
And each week we discover if it's good or if it's bad. Yeah. And also other things. So what are we watching? What are we playing? What are we eating? That's all discussed here. Poke News of the Week. There's a million segments, which leads me, Taylor, to our first segment. If you'd like to please set us up for our first segment of the week.
What's dislocating with Taylor?
No.
Oh, it's peeping in on Geese.
What's new with Geese? Take it away, Geese Peep.
I'm
You can't start a musical
now.
number.
I'm a bike girly. I'm riding my bike in Florida, and what a fun activity that is also exercise.
That's very cool, Geese Peep.
Sorry, I was live processing what I was going to say.
No, what is interesting is that she wears a little ball cap underneath her helmet, which, is that safe, Taylor? You tell me. You're the injury expert.
Why don't you get one of the... Well, first of all, I would like to say, do your best to not dislocate a finger. And why don't you just have one of those little cool helmets? What are they called? 1,000 helmets or something?
Oh, like the ones it'll take a
Has the
cannonball
little-
in the head?
Little visor.
I don't
on it.
know. I just have a helmet and a hat, and I like to bike to where the birds are.
I like to bike where the birds are.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's Disney or Keen. One of the two.
Somewhere only we... Oh, guys, enough. It's not the musical episode. Geese Peep, please continue.
I was biking. I ran my last meeting at work. Hopped on my bike.
You're running, hopping, and biking.
Taylor?
Yes, Geese.
It's Geese's Geese of the Week. So.
Oh, sorry. Verb it away, Geese.
And I was following the flocks of glossy ibis, trying to figure out where they're landing. And I just kept riding in circles. And I figured out they were landing in the middle of this lake where you can't even see them. But
are we discussing the episode of Pokemon right now, or something that happened to you?
Yeah, Melodic was there. She was just talking about it. Question from the audience, Geese?
No, it just sounded like she said there was some Jotonian ibison.
Glossy ibis.
Yeah.
Look, I've only seen like single glossy ibis, so like here and there. I wanted to see a whole flock, and I was following. So every night, all the ibis go to different locations and kind of like hang out, chill out for the night.
Yeah, the
mass
outbreaks.
Yeah.
Sure. And I was trying to figure out where the glossy ibis were going to hang out, but I couldn't figure it out. But I went to a different spot. I went yesterday where there was a lot of birds, but there weren't as many this time, but it was still nice.
Glossiado Mountain.
So were you on your bike on the road, staring straight up into the sky,
Yes.
tracking these birds? Okay. That's very sick.
While the
I was
Pokemon bike
literally-
music is playing.
I was going so fast on my bike, following the birds everywhere.
I can't wait for at some point this series of actions you're taking over there to end in an article that starts with Florida woman.
Yeah, local girl. Yeah. Guys, am I the only one here who thinks it sounds like a Pokemon adventure she's describing on her bike following the birds in the sky?
Yeah,
It's
the glossy
basically Pokemon
ibex.
Snap.
Yeah, it's basically Pokemon Snap. Geese Peep, that sounds very sick.
Yeah, I also saw a gator. It's a baby.
It was a
Baby?
baby? That's so sick, Geese. I'm glad to hear you met some birds today. Now it's time to move on to watching, playing, eating of the week. I was confused by you guys not joining in, but then I forgot it's not Pokénews.
We don't do that.
We don't do it for Pokénews. We don't do it for watching, playing, eating of the week. Guys, I'll start us off real quick. I saw the big surprise. It's time for Michael's horror movie of the week. I saw Heretic, starring, why do I never remember?
Emilio Estevez.
Not Emilio Estevez.
Probably has been in a room
Hugh
with
Grant.
him. It's Hugh Grant, yes.
I wanted to say Hugh Laurie. Hugh Grant. It got really good at Rotten Tomatoes. It was all right. I mean, it was not the worst horror movie I've seen. I don't think I'd recommend it to anybody. I was laughing so hard, though, in the beginning, because the plot of this movie is about two, what do you call them? They call them the missionaries. There's two young ladies that are a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and they go around knocking on doors.
Village Criers?
Yeah, Village Criers. But it was so funny in the beginning. They sounded like Taylor, because they were trying to discuss something but not use any swear words or inappropriate words. And I was just laughing. The opening scene was cracking me up. It was a good one. It was a funny one. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of... I think I have this problem with most horror movies I see is the whole time I'm thinking, what are they leading up to? And then the ending is just never satisfying at all. And you're wondering, are they going to do some twist? Is there going to be something supernatural? What are they
so funny because I have that issue a lot too, and I always think about how much fun people make fun of how much fun of Stephen King people make. Is that the right way to say that?
If we were going to speak English, I'm always thinking about
how people
Stephen
make fun
King.
of Stephen King for.
I can make it real easy English with two sentences. I would just say
Stephen King.
No, I would. This is the sentence. This is the double sentence I'd go for. I think a lot about Stephen King. Incidentally, people seem to make fun of him a lot. Third sentence, I also think about that. Perfect English.
Oh,
that's
nice.
bad.
Also perfect English. Okay. I think about how bad Stephen King is fun. Yep. So everyone gives him a hard time about not being able to end a story. And he's doing such a good job compared to all the stuff I see coming out recently.
Oh, yeah.
Everything just ends in a way that makes sense for it to end. Is it satisfying? Not all the time.
No.
But is it logical in the terms of whatever story? 100%.
Guys, writing an ending is hard. Also, I don't remember where I saw it, but I think there was some interview Stephen King did where he discussed a storyline he had, but he couldn't think of an ending, so he just never wrote the story. He told it on some talk show. It was all about some guy going into the bathroom or some woman going to the bathroom at an airport and nobody was coming out. And then other people's wives start going into the bathroom at the airport and they never come out. And eventually there's this big giant group of people saying, what's going on? Why is no one coming out of the bathroom? And then he said, but I couldn't figure out how to end it. And now I'm curious how it ends. So sorry, guys.
Well, there's a lot that needs much more than just an ending.
No, he made it sound real sick. I think at some point a lot of police showed up and there's a big portal in there.
I have a story. It's about two police in Wichita, and I just can't figure out how to end it.
No, I gave you a whole plot. Also, in eating this week, I had some delicious ramen broth, extra spicy, and curry, extra... Taylor, you know how Coco Ichibanya said, well, guess what, guys? We're finally going up to spice level 20. And I said, yeah, right, guys. I tried a spice level 15. It tastes like an 8. Come on, guys. Who are we kidding?
The funny thing about Coco Ichibanya offering up to a level 20 is that sometimes the level 2 is a level 20. They're so inconsistent, like having a scale is almost meaningless.
God, I don't know why. This is so inaccurate. Also, I went to Sidecar Donuts to try their new seasonal flavor, the vegan affogato. Does it look delicious? Yes. Did it taste delicious? Again, it was like whatever. I talked to the girl there and I said, I try all these flavors, but I have never once found one flavor that's anywhere near as good as a hot butter and salt. And she agreed. So
did you get her number?
No. Also, I tried the small Dolce de Leche frappe from McDonald's. That was okay. I don't ever order those, but they got me again because it's a limited time only thing and it's advertised everywhere. It tastes
Man,
like
they really know how to get you.
Yeah, they do. It tastes like a. It tastes like
you wrap around your finger.
What?
They got your. They have you wrapped around Grimace's finger.
Oh, okay, that's what you said. I heard Taylor. They got your finger.
That's what I thought you said too.
Taylor, they got your finger. You say as you're being choked to death. Okay. It was tasty, guys. It was tasty. Just kind of tastes like a caramel frappuccino at Starbucks, which the children love. I don't know if you've ever been to a Starbucks. What, Geese Peep?
They're so sweet.
Children, yes. I mean, sometimes.
But I don't know if you've ever been to a Starbucks. But here's the thing: normal people order their coffees or whatever, and then if you ever have the misfortune of accidentally walking into a Starbucks by a school, you're going to get 15 to 45 middle schoolers all ordering caramel frappuccinos. And it's just
when I was in middle school, I went to Target, and at the Starbucks in Target, I ordered some kind of coconut flavored frappuccino.
Oh, this sounds like a Stephen King story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it end, Geese?
And
the vanilla bean powder was
I don't even know if that's like a made up memory, but I remember it was so good. And if anyone else remembers when they had this coconut flavored frappuccino, please let me know and let me know if they do it again.
There's no way they're already knee deep into pistachio season and they've never done coconut. I'm sure that's a real thing.
Let her know. Okay, guys, that concludes my eating, watching, playing. Geese Peep and Taylor, I need you to go ahead and tell me about The Lincoln Lawyer. What? Two people watching the same show? What is this?
Geese.
The Twilight Zone?
Yes, I got so excited because finally we can talk about something in common.
Oh my god. Okay, I can't wait to hear how you tie it back to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
And before you do that, I got to tell you, Taylor, what Geese Peep said to me before you got in, which is, I'm sure Taylor watched the K-drama version of The Lincoln Lawyer. So good. Taylor.
No, what? There's a K-drama version of The Lincoln Lawyer?
No.
No. Is it just Extraordinary Attorney Woo?
Yeah.
My parents watch that. Wait, question. You're watching the show, right? Not the movie.
Yes. Question. There's a movie?
Yes, with Matthew McConaughey. It came out like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Based on the book.
Answer, I watched the movie.
Did you read the book based on the novel?
No, I read the book. It's like an illustrated novel based on the TV show that just came out.
It's a series of books.
What about the manga?
Yeah. There's no manga yet. Series of books based on the movie that came out after the Netflix show this year.
Based on the series of novels by Michael Connelly.
I think I might play the card game.
You need to play the Musou by the Dynasty Warriors, guys, because that has important Lincoln
I would love to see him going to town with a briefcase. Just
based on the pachinko
hundreds of
machine.
legal clerks.
Oh my God, there are some good. There's some very important lore in the pachinko machine. Yes, Geese Peep. Guys, can you just tell me about Lincoln Lawyer? We've been like goofing off for too long. This is not a goof off podcast. This is a very serious Pokemon podcast.
Geese, why don't you go first?
Break your other fingers.
Wouldn't be hard.
Fingerless Peck.
So my grandma's been staying with us for a while, and I help her with tech stuff. And I have been helping her download audible versions of the Lincoln Lawyer books.
Okay.
And then we started me, my entire family, my grandma, my parents, and I, watching the series. Now look, did I only watch season 2? Yes.
Oh, interesting.
How far along are you?
I finished it.
No spoilers.
Didn't you already spoil yourself by watching the second season?
Yeah, and you played the Musou game. You were just saying.
No, they're like each season is like a different case.
Ooh, just like the big, not the Big Lebowski. Nobody say anything because I'm going to remember it. It is called, the name of the series I'm thinking of is called not Watchtower.
The Big Bang Theory.
No, I said don't
True
say.
Detective.
I said don't say. I was going to think of it.
Oh, was it True Detective?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
How entertaining this podcast could have been, me trying to think of it. God.
Wow, Geese.
Not off at the vine.
She who saith no spoilers begets spoilers upon others.
Just like the movie Heretic.
Guys.
Yes, Geese.
It's filmed in LA, and I was telling this to Michael, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay, let me explain the reason I'm laughing. Michael, this show, every single scene, all they're doing is saying, no, we know what's in Los Angeles. Hey, guys, we know what's in Los Angeles. We know what restaurants are in Los Angeles. Hey, guys, we know what streets are in Los Angeles. It's so... No one talks like that.
The majority of film and television is filmed in Los Angeles.
Okay, first of all, how dare you? A lot of it's filmed in Vancouver. Second
And
of
shouts
all,
out to Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia
shouts
Peach.
out. And I was going to say that I feel like I've seen places that Michael has sent photos of birds from in the show.
Probably. There are a lot. And they all film around, like, that Eagle Rock to Echo Park kind of area.
It's an easy watching show. It's fine. What are your thoughts?
So, first of all, the first season is so hard to watch. The writing is aggressively bad. Every character is so annoying. Geese, you didn't even watch season 1.
I watched the first I watched the first 2 episodes, and they start way past, they start further in the novels than I thought, because I asked my grandma about this. So like there's a lot of backstory between these characters that's just off screen.
And they do a fine thing like that. I hate every side character. Every single one. I don't like Izzy. I don't like Lorna. I don't like Cisco.
Do you know Cisco's Australian?
I mean, Cisco also is gurgling the entire time he's speaking. Like nobody talks like that.
Cisco is the
investigator.
No, I was gonna say, well, yes, in the show, but he's in the Mad Max movies. He's the, what's it called, like the doctor they call.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. He did a way better job in that. He's just so silly in this. Anyway, it's a very interesting show because the first 2 seasons are just standard, like, USA suits caliber.
Yeah.
Like, you're watching it and you're like, oh, man, they didn't even kind of try to make these seem legally plausible. These are just, everybody's bad at their job. No judge knows what's going on. No lawyers know what's going on. And then in the 3rd season, somebody said, what if we did good? And everybody was like, oh, yeah, let's do that. Budget through the roof. Filmmaking style, outrageously sick. Just creative shots, creative acting choices. It's significantly better than the first 2
that's
seasons.
exciting.
Yeah, it is. Wait until you watch the first season and then go to season 3.
Guys, please write in looklistencast@gmail.com. Should I watch this anime I keep seeing clips of, Dawn to Dawn, or something like that?
I watched... Okay, so it gives you strong Fully Cooley vibes. It's
what is Geese's face? What are her eyebrows?
Why are you leaning over that much?
So the speed in which we stopped talking about Lincoln Lawyer and then went to anime was just like half a second, so I'm just catching up.
Geese, I told you that we were going to segue into Final Fantasy Rebirth.
You don't remember?
I guess I didn't take you seriously, and that's my fault. Please go.
Yes, it is. I am a person with whom I should to be taken seriously.
Taylor, did you buy a PS5 Pro, so now Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is less muddy on performance mode?
No.
Nice.
No. I just
because honestly, if you told me that you bought a PS5 Pro before a new computer, I would have yelled at you.
If I bought a PS5 Pro at all at the current price, I would laugh myself off of this podcast. It's just such a bad decision, and it's only for people who have the Sony marketing hooks in them where they want to upgrade every single time because there's no like realistic reason to do it.
If you got the $1,000 bundle that looks like a PS1, there is. That thing's beautiful. But unfortunately, I didn't have $1,000, so I couldn't get it.
Yeah. And what else did you watch, Geese?
Trail Mix.
Ooh, is that like a Lunchables kind of short story?
It's just, we went to Aldi and I got some trail mix. The long and short of it is the Asian trail mix, bad. The Cajun trail mix, very good. Did I eat too much of it last night and give myself bad tumbo? Yes.
What's in the trail mix?
We're working with sesame sticks, wasabi peas. Oh, wait, no, not wasabi peas. Just kidding. Sesame sticks, Peanuts.
Oh, wait, no peanuts, no peanuts. Sesame sticks.
Other crunchy munchy guys. It's good.
I'm telling you right now, you can do a pretty good diss track rap rhyming Cajun with Asian. It's possible. Taylor, would you like to discuss Lifeforce if Geese Peep has finished Lincoln Lawyer and Trail Mix review?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. This movie came out, and it is called Lifeforce. It is by the director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it is a ridiculous, lost-to-time sci-fi adventure horror, I guess, movie. I don't know what the thought process was. I thought it was like, let's have this lovely lady be completely naked for the entire film. And then it winds up being like a very good movie. Very interesting in that every single scene, especially after watching something like The Crazies, where just everybody in the government is completely incompetent. It's weird that they, like, something happens with aliens. They fly in an expert. Me, 2024, I'm ready for nothing but ridicule, scrutiny, disbelief, and skepticism. And this guy's just like, okay, go on. Let me hear more. And the entire movie's like that. Just everybody making decisions that make sense. And the scale of the movie, I say everybody go watch it. The scale of the movie just keeps increasing in a very realistic way, and it's very sick. It's not like, I understand why it's kind of a hidden, but it's a very good movie.
Wait, when did it come out?
Sometime in like 82 or something.
82? Sometime in 82?
Sure.
Taylor, I want to watch Dragon Ball Daima, but we never finished Dragon Ball Super. Can you please tell me about your almond butter?
I eat so much almond butter, and it's really starting to mess with my mind because it's so easy for me to get stuck on the track of eating the exact same thing every single day. And it's just easy calories. But then I have something like quesabirria ramen, which I had the other day. Oh my God, it's so good. It's just so good, but I really have a hard time reconciling taking in that many calories from ramen versus that many calories of almond butter.
You can get that at Del Taco.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They have birria ramen, and you just put some cheese in it if you wanted.
Is it good?
Did I ever have it there? I know I've had birria ramen, but I don't recall if it was from... I mean, there's just a couple ramen in there. Birria. I'm sure it's fine. Hey, Geese Pete, before we move on to Poké News of the Week, was there anything else you wanted to discuss? Because you seem like you didn't get to say everything you wanted to say.
Maybe some bad news from last week?
Fine, I'll talk about it. But I'll be quick about it.
I'm muting the mic here. Tell us the whole story, Geese.
Did I eat too many Oreos and a giant family-sized box of Nilla wafers one night? Yes. Did I get a new kind of diarrhea I've never had before? Yes. Okay.
Taylor, it's actually an ancient form of diarrhea. They've discovered it.
How
on? It's called paradoxal diarrhea.
It's when the time machine breaks in Area Zero, and then the EX Pokemon start flowing out.
You overdosed on both black and white cookies?
Yes. It's when you're both constipated and you have diarrhea at the same time. And I don't recommend it.
That has absolutely happened to me. Dude, how on earth did you... Okay, I have never heard of anybody eating that many Nilla wafers. Ever.
They're too good. I don't know what to tell you.
Are you okay?
Geese Peep is better now. Are you ready for Poké News?
Is she better and ready for Poké News?
She's crying.
Oh, God.
My eyes itchy.
Oh, you're having emotional
Oh, my gosh.
swing?
Wait, no, I need to say something. Last night, my parents and I went to Ollie's Good and Cheap. Are you familiar with that store?
Is with the big goofy man with the big giant mustache? Yep. Yeah, they put up one in Houston by the Texas Roadhouse and the Walmart and the Whataburger, Taylor, where you stole the cherry pie sign.
It's a great sign, and it was a limited time only sign.
Geese People, why are you judging? They had already run out of the pie, so who was to blame? Not me.
I wasn't judging. You know, I love to steal.
I was Steel Hearts, audience members, but in my defense, I was protecting them from a few. In my defense, I was protecting them from a future. Sorry, Your Honor, I'm getting so flustered because every time I want to start a sentence about something legal now, I just think about stupid Lincoln lawyer and the main character going, Your Honor, I'll get there in 3 questions.
Guys,
Yeah, he always does that.
Guys, I think it's time for Pokémon.
I wasn't done. I didn't even get to finish my story. I only started it because interrupted by Taylor.
Listen, Geese, with respect to the court's time and respect to Your Honor himself, I'd like to give you permission to finish the anecdote about diarrhea black and white bird.
I'll get there in 3 questions, Your Honor.
Yes.
I went to Ollie's Good and Cheap with my parents, and apparently my mom was in the book aisle, and a man came up to her and asked if she was prepared for the bird flu.
Is he trying to pick up your mom? Is this like a pickup line?
No, he was just a crazy man.
Because you give me the fever.
What if he was like just a devout podcast listener and he wanted to make sure that you were feeling well because he knew you were feeling under the weather and your name is Geese?
Got him.
My eye's really itchy and I'm worried.
Well, Geese Peep did say she was thinking that an adoring fan would approach her on the streets and say, "Are you Geese Peep?"
Guys, look.
Listen.
Taylor?
I have
I don't know why
one day it's going to happen.
Normally it just slides on by.
Look, one day it's going to happen and I'm ready for it. That's all I'm saying. If you're a fan and you see me on the street, just come say
Geese,
hello.
are you running around doing your guys voice just randomly? Because this is an audio-only podcast.
She has a private Instagram. She posts pictures.
If you have a private
Also,
Instagram, how's anyone going to know you?
I'm on the vlogs, some of them.
Oh, sick.
We did 2
years ago.
We did one video podcast.
Yeah, that's true. We would have done more, but then the video just wouldn't work. Are we ready for Poké News?
Geese, are we ready for Poké News?
Yeah.
Sarah B has reported that the next 7-star Terra Raid battle has been fully revealed. You can battle against ground Terra type Torterra. This is me speaking a little uninteresting because Torterra is already ground type. It runs from November 15th through the 17th, and again a week later from November 22nd through November 24th. Be sure to catch it. Geese Peep, would you like to read our next Poké News of the week? Because it's about something only you care about, because I am now the biggest #1 hater of Pokemon Sleep in the world.
Ooh.
Pokemon Sleep has released a collaboration video with Dua Lipa. That's cool.
I love Dua Lipa.
And looks like they're gonna change development teams. That's nice.
Select button is going on to other things, bigger things, hopefully, while Ilka, nobody likes Ilka, while Ilka continues working on Sleep. And Ilka was already helping. For a while, people thought Ilka made the new Mario & Luigi game, but it was actually the Octopath Traveler, guys, as we discussed before. Guys, it is now time to discuss an episode of Pokemon. Before we do, I need Taylor to tell me not only what happened last time on Pokes, but what are his feelings about what happened last time on Pokemon.
Previously on Pokemon, the gang finally gets some clues on both Lucius and Terrapagos from yet another fantastically dressed lady.
Question, Taylor, do they really? Because if I recall that episode, she didn't tell him anything. If anything, she just learned from them.
I mean, weren't they?
What did Briar tell them? What was new?
Well, they knew they needed to, no, she knew that Terrapagos. Oh, we already knew Terrapagos was friends with Lucius.
They learned that
there's more than one of them, I guess.
They learned that Lucius probably read Heather's Scarlet Book.
Heath.
Yeah, they were talking about that old archaeologist.
Heath, yes. He's very important in the video games.
Yeah. So I guess instead of they learned more about Terrapagos and Lucius, they learned more about Heather and friends.
Heath, we're speaking English, guys. Let's say Heath. Taylor, how did you like the episode? Spoilers for you. We were not crazy about that episode, and we gave it lower scores than normal.
I would give it in the low 8s. I was not super, maybe high 7s.
Hold on. Let me scroll back so I can input your score.
Give it like a 7.9. Like, it was fine, but it was just the whole time I was watching it, since I watched both episodes back to back. The second episode I watched today immediately made me forget everything about the first episode.
First one was bad. Sorry, last week, lovers.
It was, I mean, it was fine. I like Melodic a lot. I like the idea of that lake being somehow tied to wild terrestrialization. But it's just a boring episode.
You didn't think Melodic's voice actor sounded like a bad English voice actor?
I didn't notice the voice acting being particularly jarring.
That's sick. But yeah, I gave it a 7.5. Geese gave it an 8. We're not a fan of last week. Hopefully this week is better. Only one way to find out. Geese Pete, can you please tell me the name of this week's episode in English?
Pursuit, the search for Kleavor / track it down, find Kleavor.
Or in Japanese, Tsuiseki. Tsuiseki? Basagiri wo sagase. Geese Pete, can you please give us a 1-sentence synopsis for what happens this week on Pokemon, please?
The kids are always evolving new ways to potentially kill themselves.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yes, Geese.
We open with the children, Fritos, and Perrin on their way to Tengu Mountain. And apologies now if that mountain changes names in English, but all we can go off on now is the Japanese name, Tengu Mountain.
I need to get some opinions from y'all. Is anybody a fan of Perrin?
Geese people loved it. Like every episode, we open with Dot complaining about climbing up a mountain. And we see poor Tinkatuff trying so hard to drag her heavy hammer up the mountain. And my first thought is, why don't you put the poor girl in a Pokeball? Which immediately, that is what happens. Geese, can you answer Taylor's question about Perrin, please?
You look like Melisandre, the Red Witch, or whatever they call it, the Red Priestess.
The Red Priestess.
She's not my favorite.
Melisandre?
No.
Guys, we're going to find Kleavor on this mountain. I bet you anything. Time for a theme song. We're back from the theme song.
It was a very funny episode for me because I did not recognize what Pokemon they were after until halfway through the episode.
Good old Kleavor. Everybody loves him. Geese, did you see all the Pokemon relaxing by the water? Crocolore sipping from the little lake reservoir?
That looked like very refreshing water, TBH.
Little Florigato just snoozing, just taking a little rest. Then we see all the children looking at this picture of Kleavor. Perrin's just a bragging. Guys, she's the best photographer in the world. She's gone all over the world.
When she's describing all of her travels, there's a montage of various Pokemon pictures she's taken.
So she takes pictures of every Pokemon. We see a montage of Bagon, Butterfree, Finneon, Purloin, Psyduck, Hippowdon, Swadloon, Cleffa. Guys, she's the master photographer. And Geese Peep, whose maps have she's been using to find the Pokemon?
Fritos Pokemon distribution maps.
Wow. It works so well. What a great coincidence that Fritos and Perrin have met.
That's like me looking on iNaturalist to see where people have viewed common loons and then going to those places to see if I see any loons.
Oh, you should have reported that one at the book section that was talking to your mother.
Yep. So then Roy asks, hey, Perrin, that's cool and everything. Where'd you find Kleavor? We're looking for Kleavor. And she says, I don't know. I can't remember. I guess I got amnesia. So if we're talking me and my brain, I'm immediately thinking, oh, she probably went into the timeless woods where you got Bloodmurn Ursulurners rocking around along with Kleavors. And, you know, you'll never have your memory back ever again. It's foggy in there.
But no one would know that.
No one could. Also, she almost died taking a picture of this Pokemon.
As it attacked her.
That was like me almost dying in the swamp, taking pictures of birds.
While
How'd you
having
almost die, Geese?
Paradox EX diarrhea.
Was it the Gators?
Yeah, it was the Gators. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
Guys.
Geese.
Because of the diarrhea, I didn't even get to go to the swamp. The other swamp. I just wanted to go to the swamp to see the purple Gallinules.
Well, it's time to explore and look everywhere then for Kleavor, since we've got no leads. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Perrin in this next scene, when Perrin is walking with Fritos, she has the exact same problem that a lot of the characters in this anime do that are just taken straight from the video game, where they look fine on their 3D models, but with this Horizons art style, they look really dumb. She looks like the my first How to Draw anime book from the 90s.
They look very, like, there's way too much detail in them, and it's like they have too many accessories, too many different colors. It's,
Her proportions are crazy. Agree. Because they clearly worked hard on our main characters, the kids, and the Rising Voltaculars, because they're all anime-exclusive characters that fit the theme and the art style of this show. And then they're just importing video game characters, and they look bad, just like the teacher from Naranha Academy. He just looks bad in this art style. And
lady from last episode.
He looks like fan art, is the thing.
Yeah. If the viewer built an avatar to be in the world, this is what it would look like.
That's a good comparison. Anyway, I thought you'd find this amusing, Geese Peep. Perrin is a little bit concerned about these children and the immediate danger in front of them. The imminent danger. And Fritos just says, nah, they're fine.
And she's like, okay. She's like, sure.
He's like, with these kids, you kidding me? They're always evolving. What are you talking about? Taylor, Crocalor. This is a boy who evolved from Fuecoco. Take a wild stab in the dark. What is he feeling right now?
Hungies.
He's hungies. He's tired and hungies. So thank goodness there's a berry on that very suspicious looking thin piece of dirt above what could be a chasm. Who's to say?
So this has to be a deliberately made trap, right? Like there's no way for this to exist.
I wrote in my notes, it's a trap? Question mark, exclamation point, perhaps. But who wins? Because they just fall down the ravine into a chasm, and I'm a little annoyed. We're taking off a point. Spoilers for the score. I'm taking off a point right now because I'd like you, listeners, if you're familiar with episodes of the Pokemon anime, think in your head really hard how many millions of episodes you've seen where Ash falls down a ravine into a chasm. Guys,
I mean, heck, even in this one.
Get it together. And my first thought, guys, Geese Peep, Taylor, is, Roy fell down? That shouldn't be a problem. You've got a Pokeball with a Kilowattrel right there. Send out Kilowattrel and we'll end the episode. Does that happen, guys?
This episode, I would say, is the shining example for Roy's lack of basic problem-solving skills.
Roy's trying to climb a 90-degree, what do you call it? Cliff face, ravine face.
Clefable.
Roy sees the cave and is like, I'm going to go in this cave and see if I can find Kleavor. And I thought Frito was going to reply, no, that's too dangerous. Someone will come with you. And he's just like, all right, see you later, bud. We're leaving.
Yeah, Frito says, all right, sick. Good luck, Roy. Well, catch you around.
The funny thing is, I think there are, 8 different ways they could have solved this problem immediately?
So funny that Roy says, all right, I'm going to explore Spooky Cave. Hopefully I find my way out of here. Fritos doesn't even... Okay, whatever, kid. We're going to keep climbing. So maybe it makes sense in Japanese. Who's to say? Maybe it's a cultural thing. Maybe because you know how in Japan the 5-year-olds walk home from school. Maybe it's something like that.
Oh yeah, old enough,
exactly. Geese Peep. There seems to be someone lurking behind a spooky bush. Who is it?
Team Rocket.
No, it's some Houndour and some Houndoom. Also, Roy in the spooky cave finds some sparkling Carbink. That's fun. They're pretty.
I did like the 2 cave Pokemon he encountered.
Some Noibat are flying by. Then we cut back to the kids surrounded by all the evil dogs, just like Taylor in Scarlet and Violet. You've played 5 minutes, so you remember that scene.
Who doesn't remember all the dogs?
Yep. Houndoom.
Yeah.
So here's what's going to happen, guys. Follow me with this one. Fritos is going to fight all the Houndooms, all the Houndowers with Charizard. Maybe Captain Pikachu will help out. Everybody else, I want you to run into that spooky, mysterious forest over there. Perhaps the Timeless Woods? It could be. Guys, Air Slash, Thunder Punch Captain Pikachu, Flamethrower, Double Team Captain Pikachu, Florigato, Quick Attack, Magical Leaf. Okay, that was fun. Then we cut to Roy. He's lost in the cave labyrinth. Who could have seen that coming? That's it. That's the Roy update. We cut to Dot and Perrin. Liko is still not back. Oh, right. Liko, guys, can you follow me for a second? Liko stayed behind to fight some dogs or something, and Perrin and Dot went off. Everybody's abandoning everyone is the theme of this episode.
Yeah, everybody gets split up and isolated, mostly.
Oh, guys, Perrin recognizes this spooky, mysterious forest they're in. Perhaps this is where she photographed Kleavor? She's reminiscing about this, Taylor, when out of nowhere, oh god, a Trevenant. He's attacking. It's using Confuse Ray.
This episode has a lot of Pokemon attacking people.
I know. It's scary.
And yet, they're always talking about how peaceful the energy in the forest is.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's crazy. Maybe Perrin's actually evil. I say no, because in the DLC, she gives me all sorts of fun rewards. But then we cut to Liko looking for the girls, Dot and Perrin, who are still confused and walking around in circles. They're entranced, Geese Peep.
In this scene, I noticed that Perrin's shoes are cool.
That's sick. Perrin's got the cool shoes going. Meanwhile, Florigato notices some markings from Kleavor on a tree. Meanwhile, Quaxwell trips over a rock and snaps out of his trance, slaps Dot in the face, kicks the others, and everybody's snaps out of confusion. Immediately, Trevenant comes back, Taylor.
Thank God for Quaxwell's violent nature.
Thank God. Come back for the commercial break. We get the sickest Final Fantasy music I've ever heard in my life. And spoilers, later on in the episode, we're going to get Dragon Quest music, Taylor.
Ooh.
But right now, it's Final Fantasy music. Perrin photographs the Trevenant, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Hisuian Growlith's little face was hysterical in this scene, because he's just doing his little smirk, and it was the biggest, haha, I'm in danger meme I've ever seen.
It's also...
danger.
Speaking of music from Final Fantasy, Geese, I'm sure you can relate a lot to this. While I have not yet played the Final Fantasy 16 DLC, good God, is that a good soundtrack. I've just been listening to it over and over again lately, and it's so good.
When Taylor talks about Final Fantasy, that is a human equivalent of the Trevenant hypnotizing me.
Confused, right? My favorite track is the one where the first time you ever walk out into that big open field and you see the crystal in the distance in the castle.
My gym hype up music is always no risk, no reward. I was actually thinking about it. That was one game where the music was so good that I would always try to sync up my big
Battle
damage
attacks.
phases.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
With that particular beat. So sometimes to enjoy myself more, I'd just be sitting there just kind of dodging and not attacking, waiting to stagger it. And then if I had to replay it, I was like, well, no problem for me. I get to hear this 6 Hound again.
So then Trevenant uses Confuse Ray again. Everybody close your eyes. Dot has a plan. Quaxwell, use Water Gun. Growlithe, use Ember. Oh my god. Geese Peep, the combination of the fire and the water. What happens?
Snap out of it, Geese. The Final Fantasy talk is over.
I don't remember.
They create steam.
So the Ember and the Water Gun combine to make steam to cloud Trevenant's view. Now, Quaxwell, use Air Cutter. And Trevenant runs off. And farts? Did you guys hear Trevenant farting?
It was a branch creaking, I'm sure.
Hold on. I'm sending you the video. Trevenant 100% farts when he runs away. This is right after the steam attack.
I hope that
listen carefully, both of you.
What I want more than anything.
Listen. Watch the video.
I don't think that was in the episode. I think that was just you.
I rewound it and watched it again after the first time I heard it fart.
And you're trying to blame it on Trevenant.
I think it's like growling or like groveling. I think that's what it's supposed to be, but it does sound like a fart.
Then we cut to Roy and Crocalor, tired of walking in the cave. Both hungies now. Taylor, it's the sound of running water. Maybe if they approach it, they'll find an exit.
It was,
Let me guess. Neither of you remember this either.
Oh, no, I remember the berries falling in single file, equally distanced. But it was just a very silly... Him being in a cave was incredibly silly. I don't know why it was in the episode.
Yeah.
Maybe it was one of those guys. We're at 21 minutes and we need 24.
Yeah, that's true. We can only have so many sound bites of Trevenant farting away. So let's put Roy. Yeah, Roy can be in a cave too.
So Crocalor eats some of the berries and then they follow the river to the exit. Oh my God, we did it! Look at us. We're such geniuses.
I'm actually kind of surprised because there's so much of this episode that seems really pointless and like a time waster. Yet they're not opening their Rotom phones to do the Pokedex, which to me seems like just the best way to pad an episode because it's fun.
Yeah, everybody loves it. Yeah, you're right. Okay, we're outside. Let's climb up this cliff with these vines instead of using our kilowatt roll. Then we cut to Fritos, finally, 40 minutes later, running off all these Houndoom. He hops on Charizard, and then we hear what I would call the Explorer's music. But no, we don't see any Explorers, just Liko finding some more Kleavor marking tree scratches. Thank goodness, Geese Peep, because could you imagine if they threw Explorers into this episode where they already have 4 plot points we're trying to follow? There's not enough.
I honestly thought that they were going to do that because I wrote in my notes like, I wonder what the Explorers are up to.
You know what I thought? I thought after Liko and Dot both do some very good investigative work. Like they both do really sick stuff. Like Dot calls out Hatterene.
Then we see Liko going into her inner monologue, our favorite part of any episode. And she says to herself, "Are these Kleavor scratches a sign?" And Taylor, take it away.
I was laughing so hard at the Liko monologue because I was thinking, why don't you just talk to your Pokemon? Why are you just sitting here thinking this out loud to yourself? So Liko does something that I thought was very smart. She's saying, I don't know if this is a warning or if this is kind of a beckoning call. And I say to myself, me too. What a weird crossroads to be at. And then she calls out Hatterene. And Hatterene helps her discern exactly what Kleavor's state is.
Hatterene, use your Betazoid power to tell me the vibes of Kleavor and this entire situation. Guys, it seems Kleavor's at peace, so we're fine. We're good. No conflict in this episode, Taylor. Mountain's calm. Mountain's calm. What do you want?
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. We cut to Dot and Perrin. Dot has her Rotom phone out to analyze the Kleavor picture. Oh my God, look at this distinctive plant on this tree in the wetlands. Perhaps a swamp? Also, there's a giant rock shaped like a Dugtrio. That could be used to identify where the Kleavor is staying.
All of this stuff, very good job utilizing the tools they have.
Yes. And Dot says, I gotta inform the guys about this. So she gets on a conference call with Liko, Roy, Fritos. They talk about the clues.
Yet another good job.
Oh, you're saying disseminating the information?
Yeah, because nobody's ever like, well, I found something out. I should tell everybody. It's always, well, I found something out. Time to keep it to myself until I see everybody in person next.
No, look, listen. Dot's a little go-getter. She gets the information. She says, Perrin, let's go. Let's use your classic catchphrase, time is money. But we're going to say it in English. But the problem is, Dot's voice actor, doesn't speak English as well as Perrin's voice actor. So instead of saying time is money, I'm going to say, time is money. And, yeah.
All right. Now, each of the kids has had their chance to shine when it comes to utilizing tools and coming to logical conclusions about things. Let's see what Roy's up to.
He continues to make his life harder for himself by pulling up Crocalor.
I don't understand it. I'm thinking if ever there was a time for a Pokeball, what on earth are you doing? Carrying up a fire crocodile on this tiny vine while you not only have a gigantic 10-foot-long bird, but you have a Pokeball. What are you doing, Roy?
And then out of nowhere, there's a Mandibuzz holding a Shiftry?
Now, I had to rewind this because I thought I had some sort of a seizure. This is an actual thing that happened in the episode. Was Mandibuzz carrying a shift to attack Roy in the peaceful forest on the side of Peaceful Mountain?
Well, the problem is, Taylor, they're probably invading his territory, or so Roy theorizes.
Just whose territory are they invading?
Shiftry
is like dominion of the sky?
Yeah.
Like, it was just so silly.
Guys, the win from Shiftry, because he's got those big leaf hands, is so strong. Geese Peep, I don't think you've said anything for 20 minutes, so I'm saying you're... Geese Peep, did you know that Shiftry, his wind is so powerful that they banned him from the trading card game?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so Shiftry had this move where you flipped a coin, and if it's heads, you just put the defending Pokemon, you shuffle it into your opponent's deck, and they released a card that let Grass-type Pokemon evolve immediately on the first turn. So you could just put out a Shiftry turn 1 and shuffle your opponent's Pokemon in their deck and win just immediately.
Oh, wow.
It was good. They had to ban it.
Like Aerodactyl.
Yeah, like Aerodactyl.
Opened a booster pack earlier with an Aerodactyl in it. Oh, no, that was a Wonder Pick. And it has that exact same move.
Why do you keep saying Doctyl?
Aerodactyl, sorry.
I love pterodactyls.
He's a doctor.
That's a good point. Geese Peep, Roy finally makes the decision we've all been waiting for. What Pokemon does he send out?
Kilowattrel.
Finally! Crocalor, jump on your friend Kilowattrel and battle the Mandibuzz holding a Shiftry.
And I'm just picturing Crocalor pulling himself up on a vine.
Yeah, Crocalor should have said, Roy, you're stupid right now. Guys, look, we actually, as silly as this all is, we actually do get a very sick little aerial battle.
It's fun. It's very fun. And we have one of my favorite things, which I've talked about here before, but it's when a villain cares about another villain, where they don't put them in that dumb little kind of group where the platoon leader doesn't care about his soldiers, and it's like, I'm evil, therefore everybody's disposable. Mandibuzz is like, no, this Shiftry, he's my boy.
A true Dark-type Pokemon knows you never leave a Shiftry behind. Rush in, Spark, again! Oh my god, Crocalor's paralyzed! Dodge it! Get behind him, Kilowattrel! Crocalor, use Disarming Voice right in their butt! And they fly off. Yay. Crocalor did it.
Russian Spark is one of my favorite moves in Pokemon.
It's my favorite Maverick you fight in Pokemon X. We cut to Pokemon X2. We cut to Dot. She finding leaves for the picture. I thought we already said that like 10 minutes ago.
We did. They just took so long to climb up the side of Mount Peace with a vine.
Golly.
Oh boy. I was laughing real hard. I don't know how funny you two found this, but when Dot moves the Rotom phone out of the way, her head is just in the tree. It's fun. Not like she's like, oh, those leaves look familiar. It's, I better get within 4 centimeters of this leaf.
Geese Peep, in this next scene, Perrin and Dot have a little heart-to-heart. Can you talk to us about that at all?
Basically, Perrin asks oh, I bet you've done this a lot, this exploring and stuff. And Dot's like, actually, I used to be a shut-in, and now I'm making up for lost time. And then Perrin's like, that's great, and takes her picture.
All thanks to Fritos. Dot has broken out of her shell, and now look at her now. Also, Perrin's grown as a photographer. She didn't think she was that good, but now she just chases Pokemon she loves, and look at that.
Perrin has such a weird strategy when it comes to capturing moments, because she screams out, that's a great expression, and takes a picture every single time. And I can only help but wonder how many of her subjects have a look of surprise and confusion in all of her pictures.
It's a great picture. We then cut to Liko. Baby Terapagos is surrounded by baby Ralts and Petalil, just like Taylor said, on Peaceful Mountain, where all Pokemon are peaceful. Also, Florigato found the Dugtrio rock. Oh, what? Geese Peep! Dot's here? What? Roy's here? What? Fritos?
They just went through all the trouble of separating everybody, having Roy with his ridiculous double team aerial fight, all of this nonsense. And they're just all at Doug Trio Mound. It's very odd.
Well, time for a group picture. Then we get a little scene of Perrin and Fritos discussing the kids evolving once again. And like I spoiled earlier, the Dragon Quest music kicks in right now as they confidently walk away from the rock where Kleavor is standing. The Doug Trio rock. But somebody senses Kleavor, Geese Peep. Who is it?
Terrapagos.
And he pokes his little head out of the backpack, and mysteriously as he appeared, Kleavor has vanished. To be continued, that is the end of the episode. Before we discuss how we felt about it, Geese Peep, please take it away with Frito's Seminar of the Week of Hisuian Growlithe.
Hisuian Growlithe, the scout Pokemon. A Pokemon once discovered in the Hisui region.
Hisui
region.
Hisui.
Its distinctive fur is longer than the average Growlithe. But do you know why its fur is so long? Is it A, to keep out sound, B, to keep out cold, or C, to keep out smells?
B, to keep out the cold. Because Hisui, Hokkaido, it's cold up there.
Yes, its thick fur retains heat better, so even in the cold of Hisui, it can frolic around without care. And then we get an okay animation. Captain Pikachu's in a little tree trunk. He's cold. And then we have a regular Growlithe playing in the snow with a Hisuian Growlithe.
Here's my problem. Every time I see Captain Pikachu now, I'm just thinking about how Fritos is talking about how Cap is allergic to cute.
No, we don't need to bring that up.
I know. I can't get it out of my head every time.
We don't like it. Also, in the little animation, the Cantonian Growlithe sneezes and gets a little cold because it's so cold out there for him because his fur isn't as...
from the Cant region.
And from Kanto, because his fur isn't as thick as little Hisuian Growlithe. And that's it, guys. How did I feel about this goofball episode? Certainly better than last week's. I think so, yeah. I didn't like last week's. This one I had sort of a little bit of fun with.
I was laughing a couple times.
What were you laughing? At what points were laughing? Oh, boy. I liked the aerial battle. I thought it was kind of fun.
It was very silly.
But I was yelling at Roy for not just using Kilowattrel.
Or any of his resources. Or a Pokeball.
Once he got out of the cave, calling anyone, being like, I'm out of the cave, I'm safe. There was no Pokemon in here.
There was no reason for them to... Or there was no path that they would have all followed to get to Doug Trio Rock. They just all kind of wound up there.
But what were the funny parts, Taylor? You said you were laughing?
I see no reason to laugh now.
Here's the thing, Geese Peep. I just know in my heart of hearts, yes, I enjoyed this more than last week's episode. Are you asking me to give evidence to why I feel that way? Are you asking me to somehow put a meaning to a score I'm going to give? Is something to back up this score? That's what you're asking me to do?
In all respect to the court's time, we don't need to go over that.
Hold on. Let me see what I gave last week. I think I gave it a 7.5 for being...
What did I give last week?
Exactly.
I'm scrolling as hard as I can. Last week I gave it a 7.5. Geese gave it an 8. Taylor gave it a 7.9. This week's episode, I like the aerial battle. Geese Peep, take it away. I need more time to gather my thoughts, please.
6.5. I didn't like this episode.
Ooh.
It just felt like a waste of time. And
they didn't even meet
growth.
Kleavor. Like, this was the big Kleavor episode, and they didn't even meet him. But that being said, we do a lot of the time say, oh, I appreciate that they didn't rush it, and we actually had an episode in between this happening.
But they didn't do anything to earn that. There was no new lessons. There was no, like, super fun hijinks.
But, I mean, if you think about it, Roy had some development. It was just in the wrong direction.
Yeah, he went backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next week, he can double back and take a step to where he was last week.
We don't think Hatterm doing the vibe check was cool?
That was sick.
That was the one part of the episode I did like.
The problem is it was hot on the heels of a giant Liko internal monologue.
Yeah, that was one instance where I was like, oh, that's actually a smart idea. Way to go, Liko, for using her head and using her resources. But
So
other than that,
in all fairness to this episode, every single other Pokemon they're tackling is some gigantic legendary thing. I guess not Arboliva or Lapras, but like Moltres, Rayquaza, Entei. Like they have all these gigantic legendaries they're tracking and we're looking forward to that they've been building up to. And now they're just like, we got to get Kleavor too, I guess.
Kleavor's sick. He's a big boss battle in Legends Arceus. But Taylor, what is your score this week?
I actually can't believe I gave last week a 7.9. I want to drop that. I want to drop that down.
It's not too late. I can scroll up.
Oh,
we haven't locked it in yet. We haven't locked it in.
Hit it with a 7.3. I wish that they would have had the Kleavor episode because they've done spooky stuff before. I wish it had been a kind of horror themed episode where it was Kleavor being mistaken for somebody who's doing something bad and they have to like exonerate Kleavor or something in the forest because you have the spooky stuff with Trevenant giving people hypnosis and everything.
So like a
confuser,
like an Avatar: The Last Airbender kind of plot.
Yeah, exactly.
Love exonerating Kleavor in the forest.
Me too. Me too. That was my favorite element, was Kleavor. I'm going to say, I'll give this one God. You're both right, because it did feel waste of time.
But not in a fun way.
But there was an air battle.
That was a sick aerial battle.
Yeah.
Geese gave it a 6.5. What do you think, Taylor? What do we gamers? What do we think?
It is better than last week, and I locked in a 7.3, as we all know. That's a non-malleable number, so I'm going to give this one a 7.5.
7.5, and I gave last week. Hold on, let me scroll up again, guys. Big scroll action. Everybody loves a scroll. I gave last week a 7.5, which means this episode gets a. It has to get at least a 7.6.
I was going to say 7.6 or 7.55. Controversial.
No.
I feel like last episode was better.
Yeah, clearly, based on your score.
Yeah, I don't know how you would make that claim, but that's okay, Geese.
I was disappointed because Geese Peep, last week we were introduced to all these characters and we got nothing out of it. This week we weren't introduced. What am I going to give this? I guess, okay, because of aerial battle, fun aerial battle, 7.8.
Just think of
that's the only reason.
That's the only reason. His little sombrero.
Guys, that concludes our discussion of this week's episode of Pokemon Pursuit, the search for Kleavor, track it down, find Kleavor. Did they even do that? No, they didn't. I mean, they kind of did a little bit, but not really.
This episode, they're building up the house of Kleavor with no foundation. Like, I don't care about them finding Kleavor at all. It just seems like, well, these other ones are real sick, and we got to do Kleavor too.
You know what? I miss Grandma Diana. I hope she shows up.
I miss her every episode. I think the
I
voice
miss her
actor
every day of my life.
The voice actor must just be on mini strike or vacation or something.
That's probably it, guys. Okay, this actually...
She does have to rebuild her castle.
For real this time, that concludes our discussion of this episode's Week of Pokemon. Before we wrap it up, let's go and do a real quick question. Just I'd be curious of you guys. I watched this video. These are two separate thoughts. Maybe you could combine. I don't know. You tell me. I watched this little video, guys. This guy was talking about, there was this restaurant, and the thing about this restaurant, they didn't get much business during the week, so they decided to hold a promotion, and they figured out that if you just say, everybody gets a discounted price during this hour, nobody would show up. But if instead of doing that, you say, here, if you roll this die and get a 6, you get your whole meal for free. And even though it's the same, if you work it out to the math for the restaurant, it's the same. In people's minds, it's way more exciting to the prospect of winning something for free.
They did an experiment with birds too, where even it was, I can't remember, it was probably like not a pigeon, but maybe like a crow or something. But they did this experiment where animals were given either every other hit of a button would give them one treat, or randomly they would get a treat. Of treats. Yeah. And they chose random every time. People random chance.
I think random, they got more treats was the thing. But I remember what you're talking about. But anyway, this is all to say, guys, have you ever got anything for free? Won a raffle, a contest, a sweepstakes? Geese Peep, take it away.
I won a Dutch oven on Twitter.
Ooh, from whomst?
Ooh.
And did you use your Dutch oven?
From, I don't even know if this company's still in business. It's called like Verimi or something.
Oh.
And I've never used it, no.
So sick.
Come on, Geese! Dutch ovens are so useful. Bake some bread. Make some soup.
Geese Peep is doing wild eye roll eyebrows, by the way.
You think I have bread making time?
Geese, 100% you do.
Taylor, since you have so much time to make bread, have you ever won anything? Ever won a contest? A sweepstakes, perhaps? Given something for free.
So, as anybody who knows me even kind of closely is aware, I have atrocious luck. It is so bad in everything. So I normally have to force my way into winning something. The closest example I can come up with is when I watched the premiere stream for Pixel Junk Monsters 2, the adorable tower defense game.
Yeah.
I was talking to the developers so much that in that stream that they were talking about doing a raffle to give away the little stuffed animal of the player avatar.
Yes, I recall.
And before the raffle was even given off, one of the developers just messaged me and said, honestly, just give us your address. And that's in the white shelf in the hallway.
Yep. Show it off. Very nice, very nice. So Taylor did not win that, but convinced someone to give him to. I can't stop winning contests and raffles, to be honest. Ever since I was a child, yes, Geese Peep.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that I convinced everyone in my field hockey team to vote for me for Homecoming Princess, and I won.
Shouts out.
Nice. Good work,
Oh,
Geese.
maybe that's how you got the Dutch oven. Maybe they were like, and to our newly crowned homecoming princess. Oh, Dutch oven!
We have to speak in unison. Let's see. From when I was a little kid, I'm winning dinosaur bicycle helmets. I'm winning left and right. And I'll never forget being a little kid. And they said, okay, guys, now whoever wins this bicycle helmet, if you don't have a bicycle, you can't win it and you have to give it back. And I didn't have a bicycle, but I still wanted that helmet so bad. So I'm just shaking with nervousness, not saying that I don't have a bicycle. Oh, I felt so guilty.
Michael, that's so funny you say that you kept winning and all these things, but when we were in Vegas, I remember losing quite a bit.
No, we win all the time with Baccarat. What are you talking about? And Wheel of Fortune.
You would not. That's your bad luck bringing him down because he is the luckiest person on this planet.
And we won a big upgraded suite, Geese Peep. I don't know if you recall, that was worth at least $1,000. That's a big win. First of all,
was full of French fries, Geese. Don't you remember?
Also, when the 3DS was coming out and I went to a big 3DS preview event, I won a big gift card and a big 3DS holder with a bunch of little styly and a bunch of other stuff. You kidding me? And I won tickets to everything. Won tickets to Game Awards. Taylor remembers. Remember we were like telling Mallory, you need to be respectful for this Satori Iwata thing. Yeah.
I just remember losing a lot at pinball slot machines.
Well, I remember winning $100 at pinball before you came over. But anyway, guys.
Well, Geese, I'm telling you.
Guys, I think it's time for the wrap up. Geese, please take it away. Her eyebrows are looking scary.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. You can find us at Look, Listen, Cast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Please like and comment so more people find us. And thank you to Keith for our artwork.
Artworth? Geese
Thank
Peep. I
Thank
knew
you for
you were going to goof it. I
Thank
didn't know
you for
how.
bringing Sir Artworth into our lives.
Mr. Artworth?
Oh, Keith.
Dutch oven!
I see how she goofed the Artworth. Okay, Keith. Thank you to Keek for our Artworth. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you to Keith for our artwork. You can find him at twitch.tv/KeithSquared.
Thank you to Professor Website for the boilerplate. God, Taylor, you're supposed to say that.
So many tickle bits.
Twitch.tv/prof_ticklebits. Thank you to our supporters. You can go to looklistencast.com. You can support us. You can click the little link on the podcast feeds, please. No swear words. Not even one. We talk about diarrhea sometimes. So maybe if your grandma doesn't like paradoxical roaring moon diarrhea, maybe don't listen. But other than that,
that's a good thing to make
The nephews are going to love the diarrhea talk, so still send it to them. Also,
and
please,
it's important for children to be aware that they can talk about bowel movements.
Yeah, and then please send your questions to looklistencast@gmail.com. Thank you so much. It's time to say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Taylor, give a goodbye. Geese Peep, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Geese Peep, three, goodbye.
Goodbye.
So many good pies.
Goodbye.
Taylor, one good goodbye.
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 Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Peep. Thank you for listening to the Geese Peep Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company.